Yo, yo, what is going on, boys and girls around the world? It is 10 o'clock on the East Coast. God knows what time it is around the world, but hey, it is what it is. It is 7 o'clock on the West Coast, so you all should be about ready to go out and get your drink on and all that kind of stuff. So I got myself drunk with stupor today because I watched that Xbox. Is it OX or XO show? And it's whatever, hugs and kisses. I'm not for sure which one comes first because I guess you got to do both, right? So I did put a bat signal call out, and hopefully the special guest will come on here shortly. But I wanted to go ahead and just kind of get it cracking. This is a PORCHLyTe podcast, so these are we'll get in with these. We'll get the information in, get our opinions, and then we'll wrap it up. That just like that. So what's going on, Fatal Mephisto, Jackknife, Robert McLeod the First? Savage Uger, how you doing, young man? Black Ghost. It's either Black Ghost or Block Ghost, 44. He said he is. Well, you're saying you're just. What is that? Is this Mass Effect in 8K? No. So, and Mr. Ghost is saying that he just needs a power supply and a graphics card. Well, all righty. Hopefully you get you get what you need. And yeah, that's well, let us know what you're looking for. Maybe somebody can keep an eye out for it, and what you're going for. Like I said, I'm starting small, then I'm going to graduate up big, and get the AMD 20. I don't know if it's the 24 or the 2700. But that'll be next year. That'll be something I get next year. So, but yeah, my power supply I got is a 600 watt EVGA. I got it on sale for $29.99, and so that's where I went. And depending on what you want, you may want to go 700 and higher, depending on what you want to do. I just want 1080p open framed or 1440p 60. So 600 watts is what I was told, but that's what I was told that, and I went in and researched it, and they were like, yeah, it should be more than enough. Yeah, you need at least 1 terabyte hard drive, and at least a bare minimum, I would suggest, of 8 gigs of RAM, but it looks like you already got your RAM. So yeah, a lot of people, Jackknife, were saying that the Xbox passed away today. There's actually people, I don't know if this is real or not, saying that was a pre-recorded show. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not. They said it was pre-recorded. It was not live. At no time did they say they were live. And somebody took a picture from somewhere, and they were the real crowd. It was something like that. So, but I don't know if that's true or not. And I'm not saying that it is or it isn't. I just wanted to talk about the disconnect between the Xbox community and the Chili Hog and the fanboys. I mean, it seems to me that there's a lot of people who think Xbox is doing one thing when it's clear. I mean, to me, if you are on the fence, like I was, on what Microsoft and what is doing with Xbox, you should be more clear today than because I can see what they're doing. I mean, yeah, you could always predict, but your predictions have a certain level of confidence. I mean, there were people, I heard people shout, saying that we were going to see games like Splinter Cell and Fable. It wasn't even 2 weeks ago. And then all of a sudden, I mean, what did we see? We saw a 2-hour infomercial on Game Pass. I mean, fair enough. I mean, they talked me into getting it. Of course, if you don't have Game Pass yet, that's what Microsoft wants you to get. That's why they were advertised. I mean, it wasn't like they showed it once or twice. They were showing the Game Pass stuff. They showed it at least 8 to 10 times because they announced 8 to 10 games going to it. And so it's just yeah, well, you can expect the fanboys to defend it, but that's because that's what they're going to do. But at the end of the day, this shows you what they're doing. Now, what you have to decide if you don't have an Xbox, if you don't have an Xbox, are you going to pay $200 to get the Xbox One S, which does the exact 90% of the same stuff, or do you spend the extra $100 and get the X? Now, I know several people. Shout out to Foxy Games UK. Like he said, he has the Xbox One S, and on Black Friday, you can actually trade that in and get 140 to 160, dollars, or pounds in his case, in-store credit for an Xbox One X. Then he walks out the store, with he walks in that store with $200, and he may be able to walk out under that. So but this event, I mean, what did you guys think about it? I thought the event was straight trash based on the fanboys' predictions. Okay, let me make that clear. Based on the fanboys' predictions, as far as where I was on the fence with Xbox and what they were going to do, I thought they were moving in a direction where they were just going to start putting everything on Game Pass as much as they can. And now that we see, like, when that studio, not Obsidian, but the other studio that they bought, the lead developer said the games were going to be player based, not story based. So they pretty much threw out there exactly what they were bought for. Now that means they're going to be service based games like Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. Those are service based games. Now let me keep it 100%. I was very excited about everybody got to see Metro. You saw the 4K rat. That's the 4K rat that I'm going to kill, but it's going to be in 4K on the PlayStation, allegedly. Let me make that clear, allegedly. So it is what it is, guys. I mean, so I was excited at first, and yeah, you knew Ori was coming. I didn't know the Ori and the Blind Forest was coming, but it really looks like they're just going to put all their stuff on Game Pass. And then they'll have a physical release. So if you're a huge fan of that game, just buy it physically. I've never played the Ori game. Shout out to Randall Thor. He said that the Ori and the Blind Forest was his game of the year for Xbox a couple years ago. So I'll take his word for it. He's the man with $1 million. He plays a shit ton of games. So did I block Randall Thor? I have not blocked Randall Thor. He's the there's maybe 3 quote unquote Xbox folk I will talk to. I personally will talk to. But I'm not going to talk to all of them. So, I think our special guest is here. Did I hear a door open and close?
Yo.
Oh, yes, it is. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend. The Phoenix has risen. It is the one and only J-Dub City, co-host and star of the MPP podcast with Next Gen 720. Go ahead and shout yourself out, brother.
Hey everybody, it's your boy J-Dub, aka Kratos, the god of PlayStation and all things gaming. I am back with the dim lights on the porch light. Let's get it.
Yeah, the lights are off for me right now, so I can still hang out a little bit. But yeah, first things first. Well, how's everybody doing? How's your family doing? They getting ready for the holidays, or how you
Everybody good, man. Everybody
doing?
good. Can't complain at all.
All right. That's what I like to hear. All right. Well, what did you think? Well, first things first, did you see Texas is still playing now. Did you get to watch any college football today, or were you on the road?
Nah, I didn't. I've been playing games all day, so.
Oh, well, I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Yeah, I've been rummaging. I finished Mass Effect 2. And I saw the Digital Foundry thing of Mass Effect Andromeda, straight garbage. It's still trash on the Xbox. It's still the same game. Not any, if it, not much, if any difference at all. I think where Xbox held the 30 FPS a little bit better, but the big deal was that it was checkerboarded 1800p. So not no different than the PlayStation version. So, but it's still trash. I mean, they didn't change the story. Like Corey Massey said, my face is tired. That's all we need to say. But yes, I did watch that this morning. I did watch some college. I'm a big college football guy. But were you able to relax, knock a cold one back, and watch this show that Microsoft put on today?
Yeah, buddy. You knew I was going to be watching that. It was the most hyped event of the year, and it was Xbox big comeback. And
Mm-hmm.
I think Sony is shaking in their boots, and it's over for them next generation. So, shout out to Microsoft and Xbox for making Xbox great again.
Yeah, I mean, as somebody, as I've said before, it was targeted towards me because here I was sitting. I don't have Xbox Live or Game Pass or Go. So me seeing them doing Xbox Game Pass for $1, that was right up my alley. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sign up for that right now. So
Mhm.
and then the games that they were putting on there. First things first, what did you think of Metro with the 4K wrap? Now everybody can't say I never seen it before because that was the 4K wrap that needs to be taken down. So
Yeah,
what?
now, hey, I'll tell you what, I can't wait to play that game on my PC. That's the best place to play it. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I've been playing Metro 2033 again. I
Mm-hmm.
played that damn near 10 years ago.
Mm.
Um, but we'll see. I know it's gonna look great. I know it's gonna be great. So we'll
Yeah. Oh,
see.
yeah. Do you have ray tracing working for you yet? Have you activated that yet, or have you felt the need to?
Not yet. I got the two 2080 Ti's, and that's why I've been playing on my PC all day. I've been playing Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to EA for the Premiere. It's the EA Access Premiere.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I paid $100 and I'll get all of EA's games uh, early, but it's the full game, so it's kind of like a game pass for EA. And
Oh,
there's hundreds of games. I downloaded Mass Effect Andromeda, Crisis, the new Madden,
okay. Mm-hmm.
Battlefield, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Sudden Strike 4, Titanfall 2. I mean, it's just a lot of great games in there. And I
Yeah.
didn't, originally I didn't think it was worth it, but I got to do something to test these cards out. So the
Yeah.
one of the first games with the ray tracing was supposed to be Battlefield,
Yeah.
but they haven't patched it in yet, so I'm waiting for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Battlefield, and then I think Shadow of the Tomb Raider was supposed to have it as well.
Yeah,
So
I already have that on the X and I have it on the Pro. I'm not triple dipping with that game. So it wasn't. I'm not too impressed graphically with that game anyway. So
yeah. Yeah. See, I thought that I enjoyed it, but I understand. I understand. All right. Back to the show. Back to this show. So, all right. Well, I was on the fence. And let me give a shout out to Sick Humor and King Thrash because they and Lincoln Clay, they have been saying that these new studios Microsoft was purchasing, they weren't going to build anything. They were going to build service-based games. Now, I was on the fence because I am hoping that Ninja Theory doesn't do that, that Obsidian would not do that, that this other studio that they bought, can't remember the name of it, that wouldn't do that, that they would make games like we used to have on the OG and the 360. But it is painfully obvious to me this is the direction that those guys were right. Not that it's not painful to admit that they were right, but it's obvious at this point. If you don't see, look, Stevie Wonder can see what direction this company is going with this device. So, what did you think of the show overall? And you can throw in the Black Friday deals, even though that everybody knows that Major Nelson thing he was doing, that's going to be a gift at some point. Somebody's going to rip that, and that's going to be, you're going to see that dancing bullshit for the rest of our lives. But what did you think about the overall show, and were you disappointed, excited, kind of meh? What did you think?
I think that show was exactly what the Xbox community wanted. It was a great show for them. It's what they needed. It's what they wanted. And I hope they keep getting shows just like that. They don't have a problem with it. Therefore, I'm not going to have a problem with it. It wasn't targeted towards me. I'm more of an exclusive games guy. I'm more of a big blockbuster type, AAA games type of guy.
Yeah.
And, and Microsoft is going in a whole different direction. They're again with the services, the Game Pass thing, and then I agree with some people are saying this show was to show you what the future of Game Pass is. All of those games are going to be on Game Pass, and shout out to Microsoft for finally investing in some new studios. In about 3-4 years, they'll be delivering some games from those studios, and hopefully they're great, and hopefully people enjoy them.
Yeah. Now, did you think some of the hype going into it was overblown? I mean, there were people saying we were going to see their X Cloud device. We were going to see games like, I mean, I was disappointed. The Splinter Cell and Fable, they didn't even sniff. I couldn't even get a sip, a sniff, a nibble, whatever, a crumb, nothing. Came out. All right, do you plan on buying the DLC for the driving game Forza?
No.
Okay. Because I know you're the big
Hey, if that don't come on Game Pass, I'm not spending any money on it.
Okay.
But that's simple as that.
Oh, you're right. We're right. All right. What about NBA the Playgrounds game?
I got that already on my Switch.
Oh, okay. Is
Yeah.
it like the same thing, or
Same thing. It's just like part one. It looks a little bit better, plays a little bit better. So I got it already. Again, when you have multi-plats, you get to play them on any and everything.
correct?
So therefore, I chose to give Nintendo my money instead.
Oh, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, and that game is coming out on PlayStation as well. It's already out on PlayStation as well. So
yeah. Well, you're a consumer, and you consume, and you go where you go. That would probably be a game you like to kind of play on the run, or if you had an appointment or something like that. I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
So did anything did you kind of did they blow you away with anything? Any of the Black Friday deals, or would you recommend the Xbox One S on Black? If somebody didn't have an Xbox, they came to you and said, which one, I got a 4K TV, so I can watch 4K movies on them, but which one should I go ahead and buy? Because one's going to be $299 and one's going to be $399 USD. So which one would you recommend, and then why?
Tell you the truth, it's hard for me to recommend anything Xbox at this point in time. But again, I'm thinking from my standpoint and what I need out of my gaming experience. Um, maybe a S if the price of the S dropped down to $99, 149 or something like that. Great
Right.
Blu-ray player for people, and they can spend $10 and get all the games that they want on that thing. And so that's a great value and a great buy. I wouldn't justify or recommend anybody spending any more dollars on anything else, because I'd recommend them to just save their money and get a PC, or of course get the premier console and ecosystem that is PlayStation.
Right. That is what. I second that. I call it the superior console, but
Yeah.
that's Sony did not have a show. What do you think about? I thought the funniest thing, shout out to Overdone, that I saw today was that somebody had said they liked Xbox more before this show. So do you think the show was just a big turnoff to some people? I mean, I ain't gonna lie. It kind of, I put down what I thought. I'm like, all right, you had like $1. I mean, for me, what I took away from it was the game's going to Game Pass, which I'm thinking okay because it's only $1. That's not too bad. All right, well, what do you think about Hellblade going to Game Pass and then it coming out physical on their competing console?
See, the thing about it, Craig, is we've been playing Hellblade for over a year.
Correct.
Before it came to Xbox. So, while it seems like they just got it, we've beat it and moved on, and so it's nothing really special.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're coming out with DLC for the games.
Yeah.
But again, that's it's kind of like this is the reason why it's hard for me to recommend Xbox to anybody
Right.
because like it's been there and done that. You can have the old games that another platform has already have, or you can you know get extra content or better content first on the PlayStation platform. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're fresh and new into gaming, then maybe so. But even then, you got the 199 PS4 Pro Spider-Man that's coming out this holiday. So that's
Yeah.
a better buy. I mean, you can get Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, and all those games for like probably damn near $10 during the Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
So your money will be better invested in that instead of something that where the CEO says hardware doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter what hardware you buy, you just play the games on them. So therefore,
Yeah.
that's why I choose to spend my money on PC and Nintendo and PlayStation.
Yeah. So, all right. So, do you plan on buying Anthem, and where do you think you'll play that game at?
Yeah, I'll be on Anthem day one. Again, I subscribe to the EA Access Premier.
Okay.
Therefore, I'll be getting it free before anybody else on the PC, and it will be the definitive edition.
But
So
do you
yeah,
think they do a crossplay with Anthem, either Xbox? It's all right. Are the games that are on the because you play on both systems, the Xbox and the PC? Are
uh-huh.
all the games crossplay that are on? Like you could play on, I don't know, you could play H1Z1.
No,
That's a bad like PUBG. Could you play PUBG on your PC? Well, like say me or like Sick Humor or whoever would be
no,
playing on Xbox. Okay.
no.
Okay.
PUBG is not crossplay, and there's a lot of games that are not crossplay. And there's only a few of them, and the bulk of the games that are crossplay are with PlayStation and PC.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
didn't know that's
that's
something they were
yeah.
doing. Or
Yeah, so it was just funny seeing a lot of guys complaining and crying about this crossplay stuff when, not even the bulk of the games are crossplay capable on the Xbox. So, yeah, it was, it's just ironic. But I wish a lot of the games were because while I'm playing on PC, I can be playing against my sons
yeah.
on their Xbox One S.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now in PUBG, everybody, if you all are interested, you have an Xbox, it's free. I like went there, it was in my free. I had a message, that little
Mm.
thingy, and it said play PUBG for free this weekend or something like that. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it out. But no, nobody don't want to give me the smoke, because nobody wants to do anything.
Yeah.
Like damn, nobody wants to play PUBG.
Well, keep in mind, Craig, it's coming to PlayStation in a few weeks, so that's probably
Yeah.
where everybody's going to be anyway. So
Yeah, you're right about that. I just wanted to see how. Shout out to Randall Thor. He said he's put in close to 150 to 200 hours into the game. So
yeah,
yeah. So I wanted to just see what the big deal was. I mean, yeah, to me the game is called PUBG, so I'm like, I'm not that excited to play it. But it is a first party game. According to the Xbox, it was exclusive, so it's another exclusive going over to the PlayStation. So it is what it is. What's up, Sick Humor? How you doing? So, all right. So let me ask you then. Well, let me give you my opinion on it first. Then I'll ask you. All right, my opinion about Xbox, where it's going in the future, is that it's just going to be everything's going to be service based. I mean, that's where I was kind of on the fence, but they were telling us how many zombies got killed for Christ's sake. Today. I mean, I don't care, but if you're selling a service, you want to give out the numbers at the end of the day, do you think that more of their games, first party games even, are going to start going to Switch and PlayStation? Do you think they're just going to be service based going forward?
They're gonna be service based, but Craig, I mean, man, I really want to answer this question, but it's kind of hard because I'm looking at the stats. I'm looking at the new information that just came out a couple of days ago,
Yeah.
and this all the services are being purchased on the PlayStation. So I mean, PS Now is outselling Game Pass and EA Access and the rest of those services. So again, it's
Right.
kind of hard for me to recommend, you know, that to anybody else. It seems like the bulk of the people don't really care, and they're on Team Blue. Um, but the future for Xbox, I think, like you said, I think is going to go it's just going to be an app. You can
Yeah.
download that app on your TV. You can download it on your iPad, your iPhone, or wherever you want to play.
Mhm.
Maybe the Switch. Definitely on a PlayStation format because that's where everyone's at. And Microsoft wants to get to that 2 billion, and they can't get to 2 billion without tackling the biggest lot of gamers, which is on PlayStation. So that's
Yeah.
just kind of where it is. I don't see them holding anything back. Why would they? They're in there for profits, and
Mhm.
Phil Spencer has been saying we want you to play on any and everything. So why would he hold it back?
Yeah, that's what I've said to people. If his goal is they want you to play anywhere anywhere you want at any point on whatever device you want, they're gonna have to start putting their games on PS4 or in this case the PlayStation whatever community if you want to call it that. So
Yep.
so I don't. That's where I think they're going. I think you're going to really start seeing that starting in the summer. I think Halo Wars, the real time strategy game, I think that's going to be coming. They're going to make some kind of grand announcement or something like that. So, and of course, that will spurn the whole. Well, then PlayStation should put games on Xbox. It's like, yeah, well, that's not going to happen. They
Exactly.
they don't need to put their games on Xbox. So I mean, maybe
Yeah.
they'll have some more crossplay. I think they're going to look at Rocket League next, but they're still in beta with that other game,
Yeah.
Fortnite. You know,
Yep. That's true. Which is really ironic, Craig. That I don't know, man. It's just I find it ironic that we have three consoles that were brought out this generation,
yeah.
or they sold us at least three consoles, and then all of a sudden, after we spent $1,500 on
Mm-hmm.
these Xboxes, then they said, well, you know what, hardware don't really matter anymore. It's you just play on it, and so I'm pretty sure that somebody's cooking up a class action lawsuit on that.
Oh, now come on, they didn't force the people to go buy it, but
Yeah,
that's what
but
I'm saying
there was
about.
yeah, true, but there was some promises that was made, like the 4K 60 uncompromised, and
Oh yeah.
we know how that turned out.
Yeah, the compromise. I was trying to explain that to Widowmaker. That's how to do that podcast called Widowmaker is Wrong.
Hmm.
I'm like, look, if they had to put a 1080p 60 mode for Forza 4, that means it can't run 4K. Therefore,
Yeah,
it's compromised.
it's compromised. Well,
That's
and,
the
and here's the thing about it: next generation, what are you gonna do next generation when both of the consoles are doing 4K 60? Then what?
well,
What
see,
else is there? We all assume it's all about the games, but
yeah.
apparently there's about 36 million people that don't think it's about the games. They think it's about the power and everything else.
Well, I truly believe that this is a feint. Them saying it's not about exclusives and stuff like that. Well, I would say that too if I didn't have it. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, put it like this: if I needed a garage if I didn't have a garage for the car, I would
Hmm.
tell you the garage is not that important. Damn the elements! All your car is built to do this, this. That's what I would say, and that's what they're
Hmm.
doing. Whereas the next generation, because like you mentioned the other studios, if they start bearing fruit in 30 months, let's just say they start bearing fruit in 30 months, all of a sudden they'll say, "Oh, we have exclusives now." Remember now, so for them, exclusives will matter too. They like to speak stuff into existence, is what I've learned. They just want to speak
Yep.
it into existence. I mean, they were bragging about uh, Far Cry 6. I mean, they were calling it Just Cause. I'm like, no, this is Far Cry 6. You
Hmm.
all can call it what you want. It looks like Far Cry.
Yeah.
So and they were bragging about that. I said this game is on PlayStation. At least the Far Cry, not Far Cry, Just Cause 1, 2, and 3 were.
Yeah.
So I know it's over the top, but all those open. It's open world and stuff's blowing up. Same thing that happened in Far Cry. So
Hmm.
but I just saw people bragging about that. I'm like, this series is behind Far Cry for a big reason. It's because it's kind of over the top. But yeah, I just don't. But next generation, they'll be able to say, well, we have that new game from Obsidian. If you want to play it, you have to have an Xbox. Granted, it'll be on PC as well, but they'll say that because like somebody was telling me, they're treating Red Dead 2 like it's an exclusive. I'm like, well, why? It's got fake HDR. I don't know why you bragging about that.
Exactly.
So, oh my goodness. But what do you think they're going to go with the future then? Do you think it's going to be, and do you think there's a disconnect? I know you're on MPP and they're putting on a show, but do you think there's a disconnect between, because for me personally, again, I treated it like I didn't have an Xbox because I didn't have Game Pass. I don't have Gold. I didn't have Live. Or I don't know if one is the same. I don't have EA access, So for me, seeing what I saw, I'm like, oh, I can get something for $1. And again, they've even got Wolfenstein, the Old Blood, I think that's what it's called. That's
Yeah.
on Game Pass. So I don't know if it's enhanced or anything, but that's on Game Pass. And for us Fallout fans, Fallout 4 is leaving on Tuesday. It's hit the road, Jack, and it's going. It says discontinued or ending or something like that on your Game Pass. So,
Yeah,
all
because
right, Chelsea,
they're
great.
prepping for Fallout 76.
Yeah, all right, because for Fallout 76, okay, which apparently the update is bigger than the game. So that game, it's a giant update coming for that game. So, and I certainly hope people that buy it enjoy it. But do you think there's a disconnect between the fan base? Is it about putting on a good show? Or do you really think there's a really big disconnect and then people just don't care as they're putting on a good show?
Here's the thing, Craig. This is why I said what I said when we first started. I thought
Mm-hmm.
the show gave Microsoft is giving the Xbox fans exactly what they're asking for and what they're accepting. That's why I keep saying it, right? I can't be mad. It's not for me. They didn't
Yeah.
satisfy what I want as a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
But until the Xbox community as a whole, say, look, this is not what we want. We want this, this, and this, and this, then it's not going to happen. So, I'm looking at it, maybe how you're looking at it, it's a mess. There's just nothing there. Um, to me, personally, the show was garbage. I'd rather them to not even have a show.
Well,
But
that was what I was trying to get to. Is what did you think of the overall show? And you're
yeah,
saying,
I'm trying to separate
I know.
myself from because just because I say it's trash, the whole Xbox community, they don't see anything wrong. They think
Yeah.
everything is great. Phil's doing a great job. Everybody's doing a great job. Buying some of these, all of these mediocre, in indie developers is going to reap great fruits and rewards. That's what they say. And so, I'm looking at it. Look, maybe I'm just not the guy that they're targeting. Therefore, I'll move myself outside the bubble and
Right.
just say, look, it's just not for me. But it's great for you guys. I hope you guys get another decade of what you're getting right now since you're happy. I hope, if it's good with you, it's great with me. But and I wouldn't even consider myself no longer an Xbox gamer because I think Microsoft, they're moving in a different direction than where I want to go. So I'm not their target. So therefore, I don't see next generation me buying an Xbox because I'm not the target. So the games that I want to come into platforms that won't be there. So my money's not going to be there.
Well, so do you think all those that let me ask the chat too, because we couldn't really hear it. Shout out to Sick Humor, we were watching it on there. Did they when they announced the new studios, is it Matt Booty or Greg Booty, whatever his name is, did they say they were going to have games specifically for Xbox, or are these games going to go to Xbox and PC? Did they differentiate anything, or you know?
Craig, Game Pass. Listen, they talked about Game Pass. Game Pass is now coming to PC. That was confirmed, I think, a week ago. So
Correct.
therefore, there is no distinguishing between the PC, the Xbox, the PlayStation, and the Switch, and everywhere else these games are going to go eventually. So, congrats, Microsoft. Thank you for doing that for the fans. Keep doing it. Keep giving them a bunch of what you're giving them, and they'll keep buying it. They'll or not buying it, but they say they buy it. But when we look at the sales numbers and stuff, it just don't shake out. So whatever makes those guys happy, give them more of it.
Yeah.
Me on the other hand, leave me alone because y'all know where in the realm of what I'm looking for as a gamer.
Yeah. Now, so do you think there is a disconnect between what would be the hardcore fans versus? I mean, to me personally, what I saw today for me made somewhat sense. I'm like, because it was giving me, if they're going to charge me $1, I mean, let me make that clear, $1, to play or to have access to 100 games, and then have something that's backwards compat with a bunch of games, and then there's no reason to buy there. I have one Xbox game that says Xbox One on it, which is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Okay, and I have Mass Effect Andromeda or Mass as well. So I have two in a year. I've bought 2 games, and they're both multiplayer.
Yeah.
So, but where do you see? So you're more into what the generational leaps with consoles versus what Microsoft is doing to earn money. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm a traditional guy. I do care about exclusives. I do care about great, um, highly rated games. Exclusives and stuff like that. The reason, I'm looking for a reason to buy the games, and if you don't give me a reason, then I'm not going to buy them. So.
Right. People say they're going to damage control. Again, I'm just trying to find out. So, do you think there's a disconnect here between what people are? Do you think people are saying one thing to save face and they're tucking their tail, or do you just think cats really believe the bullshit they say? What do you think? Just as a man, what do you think? Do these cats believe this bullshit they're saying? Or are they doing it to save face?
Nah, they're saving face. And we know
Okay.
that. That's why they get so emotional and start yelling. Stop talking about my console and stuff like that. That's just kind of what that is.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to
And they
3,000 subs, buddy. Hope and wishing you 3,000 more. You deserve them, brother. You deserve them.
definitely. Shout out, Sick.
Yeah, I can make a personal announcement. I'm at 871. Shocked. I can't believe it. My goal was 50. So shout out to everybody that stubbed and to the people that got blocked. You couldn't hang with the juice anyway, so don't worry about it. Like in the words of Next Gen, you're not missing nothing on this dog shit podcast. So shout out to him. But yeah, see, that's what I think too. I'm thinking, man, nobody believes the stuff that they're saying. They can't. Nobody's this stupid. Or then it's kind of like, well, maybe they are. But at the end of the day, so what do you think? Now I know you saw some of the did you see the fake leak of the PS5 specs? Did you see
I did see those specs, and while I don't know, how far that's going to be from the accurate thing, it's not. I do know it's not going to be too far away from those specs.
Yeah, that's what I told people. I'm like, well, it probably won't be too far from that, but people were like, well, why would they use like a 6 why they could use 8? I'm like, well, if the first party developers can get what they need with 6, that's what they're going to use. They're not going to worry about anybody else but their first party guys. I mean, don't get me wrong, the second party people just have to fall in line. That's
Yeah.
why I tell people that I said Sony probably like Nintendo. If Nintendo knew when they made the Switch that the third party developers were going to have issues with it, with optimizing it,
Hmm.
but they don't care about that as long as their first party people are happy. So
That's that's
the first
correct.
party Sony's the same way. So,
Yeah. I think the Switch's problem is not necessarily third party games because they're getting them. It's the performance of those third party games because of the hardware. So
yeah.
it's so weak. So while I give Nintendo A for effort,
Hmm.
um, that hopefully they come out with a pro version of the Switch that'll fix that.
Yeah, yeah, it can make it. Now, what is it? It's like more powerful than a what's it? Is it more powerful than a PS1 or PS2, something like that, but not as powerful as something else, or
Well,
they.
no, the Switch is one T flop,
Oh,
and
okay.
the OG Xbox is 1.3 T flop, so it's not that far off. It's a multiple reason. It's really because of the power clock. That thing's like four. When you have it undocked, it's running like at 400 megahertz.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Oh,
so that's why you get that performance dip. I mean your cell phone kicks the shit out of that. So
yeah. All right. So they said the current gen runs on 8 cores. Using 6 cores next gen would be a step backwards. Well, not if they can get it to work.
no, no,
I,
no, no. See, you guys are looking at the cores differently, right?
yeah.
You can have 32 cores, you can have 100 cores. That mean nothing. What really matters is the clock cycle, which is the speed of the processor, how fast that is. And it also matters about the memory and how fast information can get from the memory to the CPU and back and forth. So you can have a six core processor, and it will definitely run faster than an 8 core processor. A lot of the quad core processors have been known to run faster than the 6 core processors.
That
Those the multiple processors that the more processors you have is great for crunching numbers, and but it's not necessarily going to give you the highest speed. Most games are, they take advantage of 4 cores, not necessarily, 6 or 8. And it all depends on the software. So don't look at it that way just because they scale back some cores. All of the new processors, like the 8700K and the 8700H, I believe, they're all 6 core processors. And then you have, I think, some other processors that shit are what 12 core. And in gaming, that 4 and that 6 will outdo a 12 core processor because the 12 core processor is clocked a lot lower than the one with the lower cores. So, yeah.
And now, what did you think of AMD announcing? Was it today or yesterday? About something called Navi, and allegedly it's got Intel or not Intel? Is it Nvidia? Like shaking in their boots because they're going to undercut. Apparently, they're going to give you like the same thing as something called a. I don't know. It's like something called a 2070. I didn't know. I knew it was a 2080. Is there a 2070 out, or did somebody just make that number up?
Nah, yeah, there's a 2070. So we have a
All right,
2070, a 2080, and a 2080 Ti.
and allegedly the Navi GPU is supposed to give you something close to a 2070.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know what the 2070 had because I thought somebody was just BSing me. I'm like, I know there's a 2080 that the RTX one. I assume RT means ray tracing, the X means extreme, but of course it's probably meaning something totally different,
Yeah, you
but
know.
yeah. So Fatal Sharad said it exists. Well, apparently this Navi GPU is going to shit all over that or get close and be like
Yep.
$400 cheaper. Allegedly. Yeah, it could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know. So it's essentially an overclocked 1080 overclocked 1080. Well, what is it? Well, wouldn't it be a 20? Isn't there a 1080 Ti? So why not
Uh,
just
it 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 is. And so
yeah,
the sequel to the 1080 Ti is the 2080 Ti, and the
okay.
sequel to the 1080 is the 2080, and the sequel to the 1070 is the 2070. So,
I see.
yep.
Well, yeah, like I said, I still think that Vega 5.6 is people really need to start looking into that car when they keep trying to see what the performance is going to be of this new PlayStation. Maybe you ought to look into that Vega 5.6. So I mean, I don't know what it can do, but apparently that number's been floated around a whole bunch as far as
Yep.
performance. So so because a friend of mine, he bought that car. I said, man, I keep hearing this car is shit. He's like, nope. He said that's all he says to him. He's like, nope. He said, no. He said, here's the best thing is I went in there thinking I was gonna have to spend $800-900. He said, I got this car, and he said I went to the club and got a couple couch dances. I had that much money left.
Oh boy.
I know. All right, so the Vega 5.6 is on par with the 1070 Ti. And the Ti, I believe, means titanium, right? So the Ti should be small letters in. But at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you all need to start really getting to know the Vega 5.6 because AMD is allegedly making the new PlayStation, and there was a certain target of performance level they wanted to hit. And it's either, I don't know if there's a Vega 4.6, maybe 5.6 sounds better, but maybe it's a 50. That would be cool if they made a Vega 50, but there's a performance looking good. But anyway, so now here's somebody they announced today, the Navi 12 they announced today is to replace the, oh no, they can't replace my G, no, the 480 and
The
5.
Ryzen. Yep.
No. Well,
Yeah, Craig, welcome to your new name change,
oh
Mr. Navi.
no. Yeah, I have to change it to Navi now. Well, this is a GPU though, right? Not the CPU.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But if it's replacing it, why is it? I mean, it has 40. I assume CUS is compute units.
Compute units.
It won't be used for PS5. Google it. Oh yeah, I'm not saying it would be. I never thought something that called itself Navi, but that's why the DevCon thing. Let me ask you this about DevCon coming up. Do you think they're going to release or show the PS5 to the developers? Or do you think they're kind of honing in on what they're going to do?
No, I mean the devs already got the dev kits. They've been having those since I believe March. So
Mm-hmm.
they know what's there, but now they're gonna get the more concrete stuff. So they'll know exactly what's gonna be in there. Um, and probably some up to date dev kits that actually has the some of the specs that's gonna be in there. Now that AMD is released a lot of the GPUs and CPUs from next generation to the developers for testing and stuff like that. So
Well,
yeah. See, once you can narrow down what the specs are gonna be, then the devs can uh go ahead and hone in the game and see what kind of performance they're gonna get for that.
yeah. Now, what do you think of the rumor that Sony is allegedly helping AMD fund a Navi APU G core, whatever this thing they're going to put in there in the new system? I personally don't think that's true. That's just my opinion. But
No,
why
no, no,
would
no.
Sony
That
AMD fund that?
no, that Craig, that happens all the time.
Okay.
So AMD, right?
Uh-huh.
They make the chip. They physically make the chip. They make the architecture. But Sony's, you got to realize Sony and Microsoft say, "Hey, look, we want customized versions of this. So we
Correct.
we don't just want something that we can get off the shelf that's from Best Buy or
Right.
Micro Center. We want you to change these, add these instructions. We want you to disable these cores or add these cores. Give it this instruction set. Add more L1 cache, more L2 cache, more L3 cache, do this and that to fit my specs. So the engineers at Sony get with AMD engineers. They work out exactly what the architecture is going to be and how they want that chip to be. You can't take the chip out of an Xbox or out of a PlayStation and slap it on PU and PC and have it work. That's not how that works. They are all custom, so they're made for that specific box. so the
Right.
information can flow this way instead of that way, or it does this. You got to realize these consoles, right? They all operate off of GDDR5.
Correct.
No PC works off of GDDR5. We're on DDR4, which is
Correct.
regular system RAM. GDDR is really for graphical. It's mostly for video cards. But they're because it's custom, they're able to with these consoles, they're able to just use that unified video memory, meaning the memory that's made specifically for high speeds to transfer a lot of video codecs and a lot of video footage and heavy data and stuff like that. So that's why we don't have that in computers, because computers do more than just play games. You know, you got spreadsheets, PowerPoints, you got apps, you got all kind of stuff that memory would not be suitable for in the PC.
Right. Now, Terrasity Great said that it said Navi was created for PS5, but somebody up here just said that Navi wasn't going to be a PS5. So one of you all's wrong.
No, I think Navi is going to be in the PS5. Again, those specs we saw, I think those are more accurate than they are wrong. It makes sense. You remember with the PS4 Pro,
Yeah.
even before the video card and all the instruction sets that they have, it was even released yet. They still had a lot of the technology from the video card before it even came out. It was still implemented inside of the PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
So that's what happens when you customize it. If AMD is not ready to release the full instruction set, they can say, "Hey, this is what we have ready. You can take that and implement it inside it, and that way you can get a head up on the competition or
Right.
on what you're trying to do." So that's why it's a customized. It's customized. So
Yeah. I
yeah,
got
and
no.
so Sony does send their engineers over to AMD, and they can say, "Hey, this specific platform, what we're trying to do, um, we're going to make this specifically for our hardware. That can't be used with any other company. They have to create their own." So Microsoft get send their engineers over, or they hire some engineers and say, "Hey, work this out for us," and they get with AMD and say, "Okay, this kind of CPU we want. We want this in it, that in it," and they customize it to fit them.
Yeah, no, yeah. No, shout out to Bring Harmony. He said he didn't know you were. He said he didn't know J Dub was tech savvy.
Yeah. I run a tech company, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I said, why do you think D Bash got fired? I put that on Twitter. I'm like, D's fired. You know?
Look, I don't get too much in it with the whole console stuff, because it
Yeah,
it makes it makes for great conversation when you got guys like D Batch and all these other guys throwing stuff out there and doing their thing. So I mean that's good. I'm just here for the conversation. I'm not here to go into all these speculations and say this and that and try to explain the tech, because at the end of the day, none of this stuff really matters, right? The only thing that matters is the games and how they look and how they play from the end result of all of that tech. I
yeah,
don't care if the PS5 have Jaguar CPUs in it again. As long as those games look up and above what I'm getting on my Pro and my Slim, I'm happy. As long as they keep giving me that greatness, I'm good.
yeah. As long as the ice cream truck keeps coming down, it's giving you the good ice cream. You want that truck to keep coming down the road. I can appreciate that. Now the Cool 1985 said D is his go-to guy. Well, just remember D Batch thought that The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima was running on the PS5. I mean,
Yep.
he's like on record saying that shit. So
Yeah.
now maybe he was just being facetious, but then
No.
again, maybe he wasn't. So I don't know. So even I
Hmm.
could read the little fine print, and I'm old. It said all images captured on PS4 Pro. I mean, that's what it
Yeah.
said. So I don't know why they would say it wasn't, but yeah. Again, I'm looking forward to getting more information on that game. People have asked me about PS5. They're like, "Have you heard anything from Blue Waffle?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm not gonna come out and say a bunch of stuff because it can't be. I can't bounce it off of somebody else to confirm it. So that's
Yeah.
why I said, well, can you just give me an overall performance level on what you have seen. And he said, yeah, here's what it's performing like. So that's it. He just said, think of that Chinese Sabor console with a little bit of like that Mountain Dew, whatever that stuff is called, mixed with the 5 hour, whatever, what the energy Mountain Dews or whatever those things are called. He says, imagine it like that. And I'm like, oh, so it's Vega based. He said, yeah, just like the dev kit. So it was Vega based architecture that they use. That doesn't mean that's what they go with. I do like that little ghost you put there, MOHD Rozzy. So I have no idea how to make stuff like that. I'm sure it's easy. I just have no idea. I can do the happy face, that face, and that other face. With the eyes, I'm sure it's something quick. I just do not have the. I just don't feel like sitting down doing it. Oh, somebody say it's a degree from Trump University. Oh, well, that explains it.
They going ham. Oh man, y'all
Yeah,
wow.
he's a good dude. He just I think like not one stop. I think like somebody said, he puts out what he wants something to be instead of just telling you here's the way it is. If that's he gets them confused. And there's a lot of people that do that. So, at the end of the world, he's a good dude. So, that's what we call him over here, Jabba Jabba the Hot, because the guy just talks, But all right, so if you, which one? Because this is I gotta ask you this: which one do you think between the PS5 and the new Xbox? Which one do you think would be more powerful and why? Because I think they're going to both do the same things, but I just think they'll use different processes to get there. But what if you had to put, I don't know, a day at an Oklahoma, Texas Red River ticket on it? Which one would you go with?
Well, I think Xbox is going to be more powerful, and I say that for two reasons. And that's if they decide to release another console.
Of course.
Because they would release it later. It would come out later. The Pro has been on the market now for 2 years. The X has only been for 1 year. So they still got some, they still hadn't used the power of that. So I think they'll hold off for another 2 years and try to get some traction with that. And then by then their games will actually be ready, at least some of them, to come out. They can't launch a Xbox system again without any games. These guys are they still hiring. So there are no games ready to come out. That's going to be there in 3 to 4 years.
Right.
So that's why I think, and I think that Sony's going to come out with a system next year, and it's going to be powerful. But again, if this generation showed us anything, power doesn't matter. Look at the Nintendo Switch; it's creeping up in second place, and it's the weakest thing since sliced bread. So power is nothing. It's all about the games. Look what Sony has been able to do with the Slim and with the Pro. Highly underpowered compared to the competition, but they're kicking the competition's butt. And the games look far and exceedingly more next gen than anything. I mean, you see games like God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Ghost of Tsushima, and The Last of Us. I mean, again, you said it earlier. D-Batch, he thought I was running on PS5.
Yeah, and I'm not making that up because he said it flat out. It was him and a couple other people.
Yeah, he said it.
Showed him this screenshot. Well, hell, what's that guy that created Shadow of the Tomb Raider was like, oh no, that was fake.
Him. Yeah.
I mean, he got fake. He got fake everything. This generation, you got fake HDR, fake.
He called it fake news. Yeah,
fake news, and now you got a fake game, even though you only can see it. And there was nothing wrong with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but that looked brutal. What was going on in that game? That Last of Us Part 2. I mean, like I said, that kiss sets the whole thing off because that was tongue right there. That was tongue. Shout out to King Thrash. He broke that down. That girl knew what the hell she was doing. So I'll just leave it at that. So, did you ever get through, or did you ever try to play the Spider-Man DLC?
I haven't yet, man. I have not yet.
What game will PS5 launch with? If you mean launch with, that's a great question. I
Well,
still
yeah.
think the studios that the studios that are due is Gorilla because they had Killzone. That was a launch game. It was a Killzone 4 or 5 that launched, and I think they were one of the first. And then that was followed by Sucker Punch. So I think you're going to have some forward compatibility. I just think the games that are on, they're going to say, here's the game on the Pro, and it's checkerboard at 4K and whatever 30. And on the 5, it's going to be native 4K, and it's either going to lock at 30 or they're going to have a resolution performance mode that will say, or we can do it checkerboard at 60. That's what I think they're going to do. And maybe because a checkerboard in dynamic is not going to go away. But I think a lot of people will take dynamic at 60, somewhere between 56, 55, and 60 at dynamic resolution. I think that will be the sweet spot for the people that are performance guys. The people who want the graphics, they're going to be at 4K locked 30. But it's going to be big games, like huge open world games. So, that's as far as I'm going to take it. What do you think, J-Dub? Do you think if you were on their design team or their target team, would you want a checkerboarded mode with say 60, or would you just say 4K native 60 and no holds barred, uncompromised?
I think I'm gonna go for the uncompromised because we all know Digital Foundry is going to be there next year. I mean, when it comes out. So if you don't
Yeah.
have to deal with those guys, just give people what they want and just let that go. Let it do what it do. If not, then you're gonna continue to, they're gonna nitpick stuff, and that's just gonna be what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you disappointed? I mean, I was disappointed Fatal with no battle. I was disappointed no battle toads, no Splinter Cell today. That really got me down because I thought because they had a successful weekend with that Ghost Recon with the Sam Fisher character showing up in the Ghost Recon game. I thought they were working on a new Splinter Cell. They just said the hell with it, So
Oh, Craig, that's what happened when you have numbskulls, always trying to predict stuff, and they just make stuff up.
yeah, I'm sad though. I thought the community was actually on to something. So I was disappointed. I'm not disappointed with $1 Game Pass, so that kind of made it up for me. I can't get a cheeseburger for $1. I get Game Pass. All right, well, bro, anything else you want to add, bro, before we clock on out here?
That's about it, man. I hope you guys enjoy the Xbox thing. And if you didn't remember, you're gonna get more of that next generation and in the next year, and wait for E3, and you're gonna get more of it. If it
Yeah,
wasn't for you, just realize that Microsoft is going in a whole different direction, and it just may not be for you. That's just what it is. It's okay if they're not giving you what you want. Then that means that you're gonna have to go elsewhere.
that's true. That is true. If the movie theater does not have your favorite popcorn, then you got to go somewhere else and get your corn or your Zag nuts or Butterfingers, whatever you need to get. Yeah, you got to go somewhere else. That's a good point. Good point. All right, then. Well, we're gonna sign on out here. We've been here about an hour. So J Dub, brother, thanks for stopping by, hanging out on the porch. But as I like to say, unfortunately, the light is on, and now I have to go into the house. So I will talk to you guys later. And J Dub, go ahead and set yourself out, brother.
It's been great again. Chilling out on the porch light. It's your boy J Dub, aka Kratos, the god of PlayStation. You guys know where to find me on Twitter, kicking up dust at JDubCity16, keeping you guys laughing with the gifts and the memes. You know what I mean? Peace.
Oh yeah, J Dub is rose like a phoenix. It is your boy, the Messiah, Craig Harris. It is a late Saturday night. It is 11 on the East Coast, 10 Central, and that means it's 8 o'clock on the West Coast. And I have no idea what time it is around the world. But man, thanks for coming by, brother, and dropping. Like I said, it was short notice. I do appreciate it. I know you're busy. So, but yeah, shout out to J-Dub. Check him out also on the multiplayer podcast. He even stopped by the PPP last Sunday with Sick Humor and myself and Game Over HD. We all hung, Lincoln Clay. We all kind of hung out. So check that out tomorrow morning on Sick Humor's channel. And again, congrats to Sick Humor at 3,000 subs. And like I said, you deserve 3,000 more. Definitely keeping the good information coming out. But all right, guys, we're going to get out of here. So take it easy. Peace.